1. Definiteness of purpose, the foundation of all success. Napoleon Hill believed that success begins with clarity. Without a clearly defined purpose, a person drifts like a ship without a rudder, subject to the winds of chance and the tides of other people's decisions. In his own life, Hill experienced this uncertainty until he met Andrew Carnegie, who challenged him to dedicate his life to studying and teaching the laws of success. Accepting this mission gave Hill a burning goal, a fixed star to guide his efforts. He began to wake up each morning with intention and direction. Instead of wondering what to do, he focused on how to achieve his purpose. This clarity allowed him to reject distractions, say no to misaligned opportunities, and stay on course even during the hardest times. Hill's definiteness of purpose became the anchor of his mental discipline, the reason for his persistence, and the engine of his productivity. He spent over 20 years pursuing one idea: to identify and organize the principles that lead to success. That singular focus led him to interview over 500 of the most successful people of his era, gathering insights and truths that would eventually shape his masterpiece, Think and Grow Rich. His life is a testament to the idea that if you know what you want and you refuse to be denied, then the world begins to yield. Everything starts with purpose. When a person chooses a goal so meaningful that it lights them up inside, it activates willpower, confidence, and consistency. Napoleon Hill didn't have wealth or connections in the beginning, but he had purpose, and that purpose attracted everything else. He taught that definiteness of purpose is more powerful than intelligence or talent. It's what separates the dreamers from the achievers. Hill's unwavering devotion to one clear mission transformed his life and the lives of millions who came after. In a world of constant distraction, choosing one true purpose and sticking to it is the ultimate act of power. Hill's legacy proves it. 2. Mind control, mastering thoughts to master life. Napoleon Hill's philosophy was built on the foundation that thoughts are things. This wasn't just a catchy phrase, it was a way of life. He discovered early on that the quality of his life was directly connected to the quality of his thoughts. Throughout his personal journey, Hill faced financial disaster, public rejection, depression, and devastating loss. But rather than becoming a victim of circumstance, he made a radical decision to take full control of his mental environment. He began practicing auto-suggestion, repeating powerful affirmations every morning and night. He visualized success vividly, often imagining himself delivering powerful speeches or writing influential books that changed lives. Hill believed that the mind is like a garden. If you don't plant flowers intentionally, weeds will grow automatically. He guarded his thoughts with discipline, refusing to dwell on fear, anger, or doubt. Instead, he filled his mind with belief, hope, and faith. This practice wasn't easy, it took years, but it eventually rewired his subconscious mind. His mental resilience became so strong that even in the face of bankruptcy and obscurity, he pressed on with confidence. Hill avoided toxic people and environments, choosing instead to study successful men and learn from their thinking patterns. He immersed himself in positive material, surrounded himself with like-minded thinkers, and meditated daily on gratitude and possibility. Over time, his mental world became so powerful that his outer world had no choice but to follow. His message was simple. You are the master of your fate because you are the master of your thoughts. If you want to change your life, change what you allow your mind to believe and repeat. Hill's life is living proof that a controlled mind is the gateway to an unstoppable future. 3. Persistence, never giving up, no matter what. Napoleon Hill said it best. Persistence is to the character of man as carbon is to steel, Without persistence, no amount of talent, intelligence, or opportunity can lead to lasting success. Hill lived this principle fully. After dedicating years of his life to research and interviews, he struggled to find a publisher. His manuscript was rejected dozens of times. He was ridiculed for his ideas, fell into debt, and even lost family support. Yet he kept writing. He kept rewriting. He kept knocking on doors. He believed that failure was not the opposite of success, but part of it. Each rejection fueled his desire. He taught that the human spirit is like a muscle. The more you challenge it, the stronger it becomes. Persistence is not glamorous. It means working without applause, showing up with no guarantee, and believing when everyone else stops. Hill's life was filled with what others would call setbacks, but he saw them as tests. Would he give up or go forward? He always chose forward. Over time, the world noticed. His work, once ignored, became legendary. Think and Grow Rich became one of the best-selling books in history, not because it was lucky, but because Hill refused to quit. His message was clear. Successful people are ordinary people with extraordinary persistence. They fall down, but they get up more times than they fall. Hill's example teaches us that grit, not genius, wins in the long run. When you feel like quitting, remember, you might be just one more try away from your breakthrough. 4. Accurate thinking, separating facts from fiction. One of Hill's most underrated yet powerful teachings was the principle of accurate thinking. In a world flooded with opinions, emotions, and misinformation, Hill knew that only the ability to think clearly and logically could lead to true power. He trained himself to analyze every idea, emotion, and fact before accepting it as truth. Hill didn't trust hearsay or assumptions. He relied on evidence, logic, and personal investigation. This skill protected him from falling for scams, being manipulated by others, or making emotional decisions. He taught that there are two types of information: facts and opinions. Successful people learn to separate the two and act only on verified knowledge. Hill created mental filters that allowed him to question everything. Is this true? What is the source? Does this align with reality? These were the questions he lived by. This kind of thinking helped him become a better writer, a clearer communicator, and a more rational human being. He advised readers to guard their minds from gossip, fear-based media, and impulsive thinking. Hill believed that most people fail because they think reactively, not rationally. Accurate thinking allowed him to identify hidden truths others missed. It gave him the power to stay calm under pressure and make wise decisions, even when emotions ran high. In business, relationships, and finances, this skill proved invaluable. Hill's legacy teaches us that truth is not always loud. It is often quiet and must be sought with intention. If you want power in life, learn to think accurately. It will protect you, guide you, and lead you to results. 5. Positive mental attitude. Turning challenges into opportunities. Hill championed the power of a positive mental attitude, PMA, like no one else. To him, success wasn't about avoiding problems. It was about how you responded to them. Hill's life was filled with pain, financial loss, illness, professional rejection, even near breakdown. But instead of giving in, he trained himself to ask, what can I learn from this? Or where is the seed of benefit in this setback? He believed that your attitude in adversity determines your altitude in life. PMA means refusing to let outside events control your inner peace. Hill practiced this by journaling, meditating, and feeding his mind with uplifting thoughts. He learned that every failure carried within it the seed of an equal or greater success, if you were willing to look for it. He taught that enthusiasm was contagious, that hope was a force, and that joy in difficulty created breakthroughs. Hill's Most challenging times gave birth to his most creative ideas. When others saw closed doors, he looked for windows. PMA became his daily armor against the chaos of life. Even in his darkest hours, Hill acted as if success were inevitable. That belief, pure, consistent and unshakable, attracted the very opportunities he needed. His message was powerful. A positive mind leads to a positive life. And the best part? It's a choice. Every day you choose your attitude. Choose wisely, as Hill did, and watch the world change around you. 6. Mastermind Alliance. The power of collaboration. Napoleon Hill emphasized that no man becomes successful alone. Behind every great achievement is a group of like-minded people working in harmony. He called this a mastermind alliance, a synergy of minds, energy, and ideas. Hill credited much of his success to his alliance with Andrew Carnegie and other mentors. These individuals didn't just support him emotionally, they challenged him intellectually, expanded his vision, and held him accountable. Hill taught that a true alliance is based on mutual trust, shared goals, and regular communication. It's not about surrounding yourself with yes men, it's about surrounding yourself with people who will sharpen you like iron sharpens iron. In his own life, Hill assembled networks of thinkers, businessmen, and creative minds who inspired his growth. He also joined study groups and mastermind clubs that focused on personal development. These alliances helped him stay consistent, avoid blind spots, and accelerate his learning. Hill believed that success multiplies when ideas collide and grow. He warned that isolation leads to stagnation, but collaboration leads to evolution. Whether in business or personal life, the Mastermind Alliance is a gateway to greatness. Through it, Hill discovered that two minds focused